Hey, it's me again. I can't sleep, so now I'm making a sort of like a chill video. This video is about, as the title says, I'm gonna give a bit of my take on the new Chainsaw Man movie. I was kind of like debating it whether to talk about it or not, cause I just be thinking like if anyone have ever watched it, it's just gonna be glazes out of the wazoo, and then there's not really much of a point in digging deep into it. But after like watching it today and then just honing myself in the chair for like a couple of good hours, I just realized my mind just kept thinking about the movie like the whole way through. Like I just really can't focus, or in this case that I really can't go to sleep. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of a review now. Of course, I think I watched it in the movies first for a lot of peoples out there, because I think I heard that the movie was supposed to release in the US theaters around like October or something like that. Like it's different from other countries. So in the case of mine in Vietnam, we get to see it first. All right, I'm just gonna get straight into it. I'm just gonna give my opinion on the general overview here. Is that this movie is so fucking great. It is absolute. I think it is one of the masterpieces of like an anime movie out there, like to date. Like this is the most like fucking greatest anime movie that I think I've seen recently, and I have been watching a lot of like animes. Like I have been watching anime for all of my life. Like seriously, I just don't think that not a lot of animes movies like in movie terms out there that could really top this. It's kind of like I'm not sure how to describe this, but it's kind of like what I liked about anime for all of those years of my life, and then they kind of like mix and match them together to cook like the perfect recipe for, like Walter White cooking that blue meth, and then they just and they just bam put it on the right on the table for me to like see it in full action, or like to me to consume it in this case. Now let's get into like the first thing that is very noticeable in this anime movie is that the fucking animation and then the sort of like style that it gives, it is immaculate. It is not, it is very different from a lot of like the approach to animations or like the lighting style, as we so call like the cinematography. It approaches it like different. It has this really like cool semi-realism to it. I'm not sure how to describe it, but yeah, it's kind of like, it's one of the words that I can come up with. I don't know if it's true or not, but it sort of like mimics that style when you see the cinematography in those like Hollywood movies. And one of those like artistic A24 movies that you see now recently. It really complements the whole like the narratives, and of course like the style of the Chainsaw Man, as we all know. And I don't know if you read the manga or not, but Chainsaw Man has that kind of style of like a little bit of craziness, the quirkiness, and the sort of like the vagueness of like everything around the world, and it never leaves you like boring, even if the moments is very slow. Like some of those moments in the beginning of the movie, it's just like a whole on slice of life anime, you know what I'm saying? Like one of those moments where you take it slow, taking a shit or something like that. They take their sweet little time to introduce the new characters, and especially in the movie with Reze, the new villain. And yeah, even that, it's just not, even that is just very intriguing to the eyes, and it leaves you breathless, really. Like another thing they did that was kind of interesting to me that I kind of figured it out is that the camera work, it does, they do went like a lot of creativity here, because not only they don't really rely on like still images and let the characters do the work, or like the animators animate the characters to do the work, but they use these different camera angles and lenses to like emphasize like the moments, like the very like the sarcastic moments, or like these beautiful moments, these really awkward moments. Like they used their what the capable of the camera work to their full abilities. And I don't think other animes do this as much in terms of like movie. They kind of just rely on the still images, like the beautiful scenery, or like the dialogue, or like the interesting aspects of the characters to do most of the heavy work. But these uses of these camera lenses, or like these camera angles that they did within the movie, it just tells you so much more. Like it breathes life into like the world that exists in Chainsaw Man. So for me, that's a big thumbs up right here. That's what movie is all about. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the main aspect of this movie, or like the main, the main reason why people came to it, is because of the full packed action. I can't tell you how much content of like just full nuts to butts, like fucking blood splattered, action packed, fucking, devils on the horizon. The scale of like the whole city is just falling, skyscrapers is falling down, the city is torn apart, then hurricanes just, fucking flying around all the characters. It is absolutely crazy. But they sure to make it like focus for you to like not to get you in like complex in the situations. And it is absolutely incredible. What an experience. It is eye candy to watch of these things. Another thing that they did that I really did appreciate it is that there's not a lot of like yapping in like between fights. That is just I've been a long time anime fan, as all of you know, but one of the things that I cannot stand with these anime tropes is that the characters keep talking in the middle of fights. Obviously, I think like the prime example here, it's like Demon Slayer. I don't want to get throwing shade to the movie. The Demon Slayer is great, but I know Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man is like fucking two end on a spectrum, but I just can't I just have the urge to like compare a little bit, because they're all like really action packed movie when you think about it. But like fucking Demon Slayer, they had this kind of problem. Like I know it's great. Like if I appreciate a lot of people that liked it. I liked it myself too, but there's a lot of moments that in there it just kind of sucks, man. Like it just tossed up, the incredible pacing, like in the middle of the movie, just throws it out of the window. Prime example of this, now a little bit of spoiler for Demon Slayer here, is that the fight between the main character and Akaza. Akaza just somehow like in like they were doing mid sword plays, he just kept saying, "Oh, just join the demons, join the demons." Oh shit. Oh, you're almost like to a level of like Hashira. Damn, man. Man, what? That power could be very useful in like the demons' corpse. You know what I'm saying? Like the demons, join the demons. They're like the best shit. The best creatures. That happens in this universe. Like, damn, please. Like, I'm begging you. I don't know, man. It just sucks. And Chainsaw Man, they have none of that. It's just full on action. Like the moment where they like, the main character realized, oh my god, she's a threat. And then it's just action from there. There's no yapping in between. Well, there's some occasional lines in there, that compliments like the character, but I don't think it is that amount of like absurd of lines while they're in the fight to make you feel like the pacing is just off. Like I like that aspects of the movie. I think they did it incredibly beautiful, and I love it. I love every second I love every second of it. I love every moment of it. Some other things I forgot to mention here is about the sound design. It is absolutely fantastic. I remember like sitting in theaters just hearing how those bomb explodes, and how the chainsaw is just cutting things, or like the hurricanes, or like the sound design of the monsters in there, it is fantastic. I don't have any words to express here. The music here was absolutely beautiful. Like, I mean, I swear to God, these musics from range to like the most mundane possible actions in the beginning of the scenes to like the fight scenes where you can just feel like the dopamine kicking in your head. I also did very like how they did a comedy justice here. Like, it's not like that B tier Marvel movie comedy that you see nowadays, or like other animes that within the same genre where they're trying to make every character as funny as possible at all times, or like in the context with some of the female characters where they want to be Amy Schumer humor wannabe. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't do that. The comedy here is not, gonna leave you burst out laughing while your balls drop off, but it leaves you giggles, and that adds up so much more to the experience when watching the movie. Now that's all the glaze that I can give. Now to the complaints. Well, not really complaints. They're like very minor things here and there that caught my attention. Because the movie did so well, it is probably my top favorite movies of all time. So the complaint is that Reze is not that much fleshed out in the movie. I do feel kind of bad because the way they introduced her in the beginning, she seems very likable, like even more likable than in the manga. Like, I get that Reze was supposed to be this summer fling, temporarily villain for the main character to develop in the future, but I just wish she had more, screen time, or like for more room to explore her character. Or maybe this is just like a choice from the studio that they have to adapt it like to the full spirit of the source material. Yeah, whether it is longer or not, I think the character arc of her, they did like very beautifully, and they did a good enough job already. Like, in the end, like, I would highly recommend anybody out there to just give this movie a chance. You got Demon Slayer, that's cool, but please just give this a chance. It will blow your mind, like, I swear to you. Yeah, and that's all I wanted to say. That's all about it. See you guys later.